Yeah, so I mean, anybody that's buying silver, this is a great opportunity to get out there and buy as much silver as you can. I think this is the last shot it's going to be, because once that slingshot pulls back and it can't pull back any farther, you're going to see some real rise in some metals here. Okay, so don't anybody worry about anything right now. Excuse me for a minute. I've been very busy this morning. It's I'm just preparing, financials and moving my stuff around because I think I'm going to probably book. I'm going to wait till after the into the 1st or 2nd of November before I do any booking, because I want to see how this October plays out. Now, I just want to say something that's very, very important, okay? Now, whether or not this ritual ghoul type event of Halloween, they call it, is going to go off or not, it doesn't, that's really irrelevant. What I want to remind everybody to really watch your children closely, and watch all children. It's not even, doesn't even have to be your child, but just watch all children extremely carefully. They're all excited about things and they do stupid things, right? So, and I just want to say that there is, there's a lot of people that are your neighbors or close by. You don't know who they are, but they might seem like the perfect neighbor, very, very nice people, but after 6 o'clock or when the lights go down, they turn into monsters. And that could be a male, it could be a female, it could be a reptile. I mean, who knows, right? So we really have to be aware of what's going on. When is this going to pop? My dinar is very dusty. Yeah, I get it. And my bit of currencies, collecting a lot of dust on the shelf as well. But I think, like I says, this whole revaluation thing, I have to let everybody know that, we still have to go through this scare event. I really think that there has to be something erupt there that will trigger the EBS. Unless, a civil war breaks out inside the United States, which, it could happen any time. But the mental psychoses of people in North America or Western society, and I'm not talking about our tribe, I'm not talking about my soul family, I'm talking about the crazy lefties that are out there. Their cognitive dissonance is so warped and twisted and upside down that, they're very, very dangerous. And, with this Halloween coming or whatever, it's going to get a little bit crazy. Now, I'm hoping, and I was hoping, that there would be an EBS and shut this whole shit show down. But, it is what it is. But I do have some good news, and it's a lot of literature that I have to read. But I don't think I'm going to bore you with all that reading. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a video. And I'm going to edit it so I can get, to the meat and potatoes rather than, dance around the whole reveal or the content. So I will be doing a video right after this, okay? Greetings, Idaho. My neighbors to the south. God, I love it down there. Greetings. I was thinking of getting a tablet, but, as soon as I buy a tablet, then, of course, the new Q phones come out and all this other stuff. So, well, like I says, I don't know. Like the EBS, like I say, this is the 28th of October. We have, 3 days left before the end of the month, and we'll see how this all plays out. I mean, this thing, we could wake up, in 2 o'clock in the morning and the EBS is on. I mean, we don't know. There will be no warning for this, okay? Greetings from Pennsylvania. Welcome, Edmonton. Yeah. Now, the cancellation of the daylight savings time is for real. That's what Trump has mentioned. And if he mentions anything, it's already in the works. So, we're going to go back to the 13 months, 28 days in each month, which it all coincides with the Jasara protocol, right? Welcome, friends. Good, really nice that you could join us. Before New York gets demolished. I think, you guys got an election coming up, and you need to get rid of that, Manhattan madman, and, vote like it's your life and New York's life and future depends on it. I want to see all New Yorkers out there voting these snakes, these snakeheads out of there. And, the criminal activity, I'm very surprised. I mean, that they're not arrested, but maybe this is all part of the play out, the show and whatever. But, the 3-eye atlas is coming around where the sun is, and you're getting very, very good visual. This thing is massive, absolutely huge. I mean, it's going to be, and it's going to come in line, and they're going to get better pictures of this thing. So, very, very incredible times we're in. This is very, very exciting. Yes, the EBS will be child friendly. They're going to be told to go home, and like I says, you're going to be in the house with your children. They don't get themselves, so they're not lost in thought, right? So it's very, very important. They'll be sent home from their indoctrinated schools, and you can have a chance to sit down and just tell them everything that you know that you want to tell them, right? That's very, very important. Good question. Minnesota, land of 10,000 frauds. You guys are crazy. Yeah, no kidding, eh? Well, that's all going to get cleaned up, Minnesota. It's not, I know it's bad right now, but this is all part of the growth that, God wants for us. We have to, this bad times make strong people, okay? And that's what I think we're going through. We're going to be very, very strong after this matrix, chaotic world what we live in. Welcome, England. You guys are going to do just fine. You're all woken up over there, awakened now, and that Sadiq Khan and Stallmer. I mean, that's all. They're just placeholders, and they're on their way out. They know that their days are numbered, so you'll be fine. The people of England will run England again. Okay. Welcome, Cheryl. Yes, there are a few people playing Trump, both good and bad. I believe that there's, the clowns have two, and of course the Patriots have the real one parked away, and of course the other one that is very, very similar to the original. And then of course they got the CGI going too, right? You can't really tell. I mean, if the only way I can tell if it's the real Trump or the good Trump or the bad Trump is this: if he's saying stupid shit, then that's the cabal. If he's saying good stuff that is pro, with common sense, then it's the the white hat Trump. What is the connection between foreign currency and humanitarian efforts? Well, it'll be the Zim. I believe it was one for the first 25 million. There'd be two of them, so that'd be the first 50 million is 1-to-1 on the Zim. So you get 50 mil, and then after that, I think they take some zeros off of that or whatever, I understand. And then the all of that will be going towards your humanitarian project, whatever you decide to go put it in. But of course, you'll need money inside that Zim money that you get to set yourself up properly, because you have to, whatever project you're doing, you have to set yourself a decent home base of operation, right? Yeah. Lots of things happening in New York. Chicago's, like I says, they're the military and the the deputies that have been, I'm going to call it the National Guard, that have been deputized, are cleaning out a lot of blue cities right now. There is a lot of arrests going on, and trust me when I say this, Pats, like we are doing an amazing job about cleaning this thing up. Gitmo is running 24/7, not to mention several other locations, mainly, some are on islands that they cannot get off. It's kind of an open air prison that they cannot, it's kind of like, what do you call it? Alcatraz, that's down in the swamps, right? It's the same thing. They have islands where they, it's surrounded by shark infested waters, right? So there's lots of room that they can put them. So, and they're being arrested, waiting arraignment for their tribunals. That was yeah. I don't know about the disgraceful news conference. Like I says, I'm not trying to play into the stuff. I mean, I go through a lot of material, and if something catches my eye, then I'll listen to it. Otherwise, I try to stay away from the negative. And I just, I would like everybody to stay away from the negative stuff that is happening. Just excuse me for a minute. Like it's important that we, keep ourselves in a positive frame of mind, not just for ourselves, but for our family and our friends. And let's not bring any negative thoughts. There's so much negative out there now that, we don't need to add to it in our personal lives, right? Like I said, I mean, when I did the thing, I played "Rambling On" by Led Zeppelin. I mean, it's a perfect song. Like, now we just keep rambling on and stay in the light. Like when things are sketchy and you don't feel right about things, go change your location, change your do something a little bit different. And that changes everything for you, right? It's tough to be, maybe stuck in a house or stuck at your job or stuff like that. It's okay. Take a day off, right? I mean, we have to change up every once in a while. I mean, I have the freedom. I'm retired now, but and like I says, when I go back home, it's like, at 70, my time is precious for me. And why am I here in Canada away from my family? So, I'm just going to say, I was going to go down in January, but I say, you know what? I might just take off sooner than that and go down there and start, wait for the CBS. Because I really expected it to come by the end of October. And if it's not going to fly, then I'm going to fly, right? Yeah. Welcome. Let U.S. define FEMA federal employees made accountable. Yes, there is there was, what do you call it, healthcare workers in some state. I think it was in California. About 30 of them came to work, and they were all arrested for whatever happened, whatever they did. So, I mean, there is mass arrests going on there, and the evidence is overwhelming. And they're all going to have to stand in front of their peers in tribunal through military, because the judges, the civilian judges, and the civilian courts don't exist anymore. They might seem like they do, but they have no teeth left, right? Okay, so we're living in a military-run operation around the world. Okay, it's not just in the United States. This is in Canada, everywhere else, and this is why I'm seeing a Remember when it was back in 2020, we felt like we were in this major lockdown and we had to do these certain things. You see how things have changed over that 5 years? Like what it is now? Like I smell freedom. I smell it, I feel it, and I'm tasting it. There's a lot of things, and like this report that I've got today, just kind of lays out exactly how close we are, because there's so many layers to this thing, and they're pumping these layers, they're getting rid of them, all of them, right? And it's going to be like I'm almost feeling freedom now. So because it's not as bad as it was back in 2020, correct? Going to be moving my elderly parents to my home in West Virginia from Oklahoma at the end of this month. Well, that's good. That's great. I bet you they're excited about that. Families should be together. And, when just like I said, going with all this and showing your humanitarian generosity is going to be nothing but great karma for you. And this is something we should do. I mean, in the Philippines, we have all our family live in the elderly. They live, and the younger ones take care of them, and that's just the way it should be. I think it's a great idea. Good for you. Welcome, Pennsylvania. Aloha from Hawaii. I have never been to Hawaii, but geez, I'd like to go check it out. Maybe we'll do that after the EBS. Dragon family in the U.S. on standby to activate the reset of the gold treaty. Well, there you go. I mean, that's just telling me, things are happening right now. We all have to understand that there's 209 countries, possibly anywhere between 5 to 8 billion people that are going to go through this transformation. And every country has a leadership that has to, be in sync with all the other countries. It's a monumental task, which is, and I'm okay with it, right? Why do they do that? Good Trump, bad Trump. Well, it's not. And that's a really, really good question. I don't think the good Trump is out there. It's just kind of like the way the Kool-Aid was. Trump, there was they brought out all these different types of Kool-Aids, but Trump flooded the market with a lot of saline and sugar water and salt water in order to, flood the market. So I believe that there are some elements that the White Hats do not have control of yet. And I think this is why it's taken longer than expected. I remember Trump saying a couple of times, the swamp's a lot deeper than I expected. And so, I mean, this is kind of, this whole thing should have been played out, years ago. But, they're taking them down hard, and I believe that we're on the finish line now. And, whoever is out there that is the dark elements, their days are numbered. So they're on the more or less on the defensive. I think they're more worried about where they have to run to than try to do any type of offensive narrative. But I believe that there is still a military industrial complex. There's a NATO element to this thing, that they still have some type of strength left. And these are the ones that are controlling the two bad Trumps. Will we be able to travel in November? Well, I tell you, I am. I'm traveling, from Vancouver to the Philippines. So, I mean, I could buy this ticket, now or in the next couple 3 days, buy the ticket, and and what I do, and I'm going to let you in on something here. I've been traveling a lot of years, okay? And I started going to the Philippines and really, doing my winters down there. But you're only allowed 30 days, and then, you got to go to the immigration and get a 30-day extension that costs you like 3,000 pesos, which is about $65, okay, Canadian. Now, what I do is I get a one-way ticket out of Vancouver, and I always go Japan Airlines or ANA or the other one, JAL, or sometimes I'll go Cathay. Now, those are pretty good airlines. Now, what I do is I only buy a one-way ticket, okay? I buy it in, but then because if I want to stay longer, like say if I want to stay till February, March, April, May, whatever it's going to be, like a whole 6 months, I will be there illegally, okay? Okay, so, but because I have a home and, I have boys, my boys are there, my woman's there, then, I'll just pay the penalty when I leave. But if you go in just with a one-way ticket, they won't accept you. They say you need a ticket to leave in 30 days. So what I do is I buy a cheap ticket over to Hong Kong, and usually you can get Cebu Pacific for 6,000 pesos. You buy the ticket not to use it, basically, and that saves you. And 6,000 pesos is like $120. So you're basically buying a ticket not to use it, but it shows that you're leaving the Philippines. You just don't get on board, right? That's my little trick. And then I can stay inside the country. So it's better, to say I'm sorry on the way out after 6 months, and pay your fine, and which is not that bad. And then, of course, you get to stay for the winter. And the reason why I'm doing this, okay, is because it's economics, okay? It's like I can live with my family down there for $800 a month, and if I'm here with my family there, it costs me about $2,500, okay? So I'm saying, hey, you know what I mean? It's, and sometime in this month here with, buying things that I needed to buy for my equipment, I was spent, like 5, 6, 7,000. Otherwise, I just, if I was there, I wouldn't be buying all this stuff to keep my equipment up, right? Because I have to keep it up for roadworthy. I went through $5,000, and that could have, I could have been down there for 6 months for the whole $5,000, if you see what I mean. So it's strictly economics, and I get to be with my family, of course, too, right? So just a little heads up on that stuff.